Heyo. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Harden, and today, another presentation for you. This one's an exciting one. It's about data analysis. Let's get started, shall we? So the topics I'm going to go over today pertaining to data analysis are what is data analysis? I'm going to define it. The process of data analysis, some data analysis methods, business applications and implications of data analysis, and then a brief conclusion. So let's go. So first, what is data analysis? And data analysis is a process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, suggesting conclusions, and supporting decision making. It's imperative in data analysis that you examine each component of the data. And data analysis really allows companies to make better business decisions and verify or disprove existing theories or models based on the data that they can gather and put into their databases. So moving on now, I'm going to talk about the process of data analysis, the real meat and potatoes of the subject today. So the first step in the process is called data collection, and it's exactly as it sounds. It's collecting the pertinent data. Your data can come from a variety of sources. It can come from IT personnel within the company who have certain data that they can give you. You can get it from outside sensors like traffic cameras, satellites, etc. Or you can get it from interviews or downloads from online sources. There's really just a bunch of different places that you can collect data from. So the next step is data processing, and this is the organization and the processing of collected data. So essentially here what you're doing is placing the data into a readable format that's understandable. So that's using tables, rows, and columns. A lot of times this step utilizes spreadsheets or statistical software. It's aggregation, validation, and classification of the data pieces, which really aggregation means that you're combining all of the data into one spot. Validation means that you're verifying that the data seems to be true, and the classification is just categorizing the data that you've aggregated here. And the third step is known as data cleaning. So after your data has been processed and organized, your data has to be cleaned. And this, again, is exactly as it sounds. The data can be incomplete or contain errors or contain duplicates. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with data after you process it and bring it into your database. But basically, cleaning is the process of preventing and correcting errors. Within data cleaning include identifying inaccuracies in the data, record matching, quality checks of the data, deduplication, and column segmentation. And data can sometimes be manually cleaned as well, but that's not as popular in the data analysis world. The next step is exploratory data analysis. So once the data has been cleaned and made sure that everything is not duplicated and there's no errors, nothing is incomplete, everything that is there should be there, you can begin to understand messages within the data. So this is basically the beginning of drawing conclusions here. Descriptive statistics and data visualization can also be used here to understand and examine the data, and it's really in order to obtain an insight on the data. And the next step is modeling and algorithms. So algorithms are mathematical formulas or models that are applied to identify relationships among the variables. So this can be like correlations between variables or causation, et cetera, stuff like that. And models can be developed to evaluate a particular variable in the data based on other variables. This area really uses inferential statistics rather than descriptive. So stuff like regression analysis is used to portray relationships between changing. For example, if you were to change advertising and that could explain a variation in sales, that would use regression analysis, which is a part of inferential statistics. Analysis can build models that are descriptive of the data to simplify analyses and communicate the results. So that's really the main point here, is that you can build models and the models are used to simplify the data for layman users rather than all the data heads that collect it and organize it in the first place. So the next thing is called data product. And this is really just a computer application that takes data inputs and generates outputs. So it essentially utilizes the conclusions drawn from the initial data in order to provide a useful product for users. Application that analyzes purchasing history and recommends other purchases based on the purchase history. So it's a lot like Amazon has that, where if you're on Amazon frequently and you buy a bunch of stuff and then you get recommendations on the sidebar of other places that you're visiting, giving you suggestions of what to buy next. And the last step here is the communication of data. And this is essentially just reporting of the data. It can be in various formats, and data users provide feedback, which creates the need for further analysis of the data. Thus, the data analysis cycle is a continuous loop of all of these steps in the data analysis process, and then giving it to people who use the data to make business decisions or any other kind of decisions, depending on the kind of data that you have here. And then those users of the data provide feedback to the analysts, who generated the data in the first place, and allow them to fix the data or tailor the data more to the user's needs, that kind of stuff. It's really just a giant feedback loop. So now shifting gears a little bit, we're going to talk about the methods of data analysis. So one method is called data mining, and this is a computational process of discovering patterns in very large data sets. And the goal here is to extract information from a data set and transform it into an understandable structure for further use and interpretation. And data mining follows the knowledge discovery and databases, or KDD, process. And these stages are selection, pre-processing, transformation, data mining, and then interpretation. The next method is known as business intelligence. And this is techniques and tools used to acquire and transform data into meaningful and useful information for business analysis purposes. This is designed to help identify, develop, and create new strategic business opportunities. It allows for easy interpretation of large volumes of data, and it can really support a wide range of business decisions, from operational decisions to like very specific strategic decisions. And now a little bit about the business implications and applications of data analytics. So proper data analysis can lead to better decision making, better data management, better data interpretation, clearer insights on data. It keeps you updated on your target market, and it increases your efficiency through insights and collaboration in the decision-making process. So really what this comes down to in the business world is that if you can get good data analysis, you can start making more sound decisions. You can have more validity behind your decisions. You can increase your business's efficiency through utilizing this aggregated data and allowing your management and people in different divisions to use data collectively and make the best decisions for the business based on what data you have in front of you, which is in the business world today. And it's a really explosively growing field, and it's really exciting. So in conclusion here, data analysis is imperative to efficient business functions in today's world with all of the big data and everything floating around. And when implemented, it can have a drastic positive effect on the business. The very detailed process of data analysis allows for proper collection, organization, and interpretation of data. And obviously, as stated earlier, there are various methods of data analysis that are specialized to fit certain types of data or special decisions that need to be made based on said data, as well as there being a lengthy list of business implications that were mentioned on the previous slide. The result of the process of data analysis is really essential to management and other employees within a business to be able to make decisions and solve problems that are presented before them. And that's really what's the most important part that you should take away from this presentation. So that's it. That's all I have on data analysis. I hope you learned a little bit of something. I hope I sparked your interest. And thank you for listening. I will see you next time.